Okay, yeah, that's his camera. Can we open ice thing at all? Apparently not. Okay, well, let's... go back and... turn the lights
The
on.
fuse box. Just get to the fuse box in the janitor's closet, Sophie. It's not far.
But it must have happened like now. But I didn't hear anything.
It's too big. I guess I'll need something that worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do.
If there's a power outage, I'm busy preventing other part of the hotel from collapsing. Here's what to do. Check the fuse box, then plan for required amperage of each socket. Remove all blown fuses from sockets. The blown fuses are actually blackened. Screw in new fuses and sockets. Make sure amperage is correct. Flick big lever to restore the power. Eugene.
How did this end up here?
Safe combinations.
Not much use without the rest of the code. Unless those numbers I found in the laundry room, could they be part of the same combination?
509. Okay, yeah. Could be. So 23, 4, what was it, 16? Okay, remove. So 15. Hold on, which... Okay, type A is 15. Okay, that was one correct. So I need to type G. And here I need the type C.
Power's back. Now, I should go down to the lobby. Call the police.
Twenty-three, 4. What was it then? 23? 23, 42, 16?
I have to contact the police. I should be able to call from the front desk.
I already forgot. What did I write? 23? Why it's so hard? 23? Then 42? And then 16. Heck yeah! Oh god, what? You ruined my life, you fucking moron. I lost my house, my family, everything, and now you refuse to pay the money you owe me. For years I gave my hand-earned money. It was all for nothing. I hope you and all the Americans burn in hell. CV. Woman and 3 children killed in house fire. The Williams house located in 32nd Street in a total loss. 4 members of a family died in a residential fire last night. According to the police and firefighters, flames were seen coming from the 2-story house by a neighbor at around 3 a.m. It took firefighters about 1 hour to extinguish the blaze. The bodies of a woman and 3 children were found in the house. Police identified the victims as Meredith Williams, 32, and her children Thomas, 12, David, 9, and Sarah, 6. Samuel Williams, the husband, managed to escape the house unarmed. Samuel Williams wrote it.
The bodies of a woman and 3 children. 3 children? Huh.
Oh. Oh, right. No, I'm not done. So what? It ruined my life?
The bodies of a woman and 3 children. 3 children? Huh.
The safe, a gun, newspaper clipping, and accusing Hector and the insurance company he worked for of ruining the sender's life. It hit me. The guest from room 504 is a man staying alone with 3 signed teddy bears. What does it mean? Is he the responsible for Hector's faith? Could actually be.
Power's back. Now I should go down to the lobby. Call the police.
Yeah, in a second. My question is, can we open a safe here? No, we can't even interact with it. Okay. Can I even, like, explore anything? Should I be here? I'm not sure. Well, yeah, they burned. Oh,
No answer. Andrew must be busy trying to restore the power in the lobby.
okay, can we explore then this corner? Maybe...
Hello? Is anyone in? Hello?
No?
I need help.
Like, if I missed something? What did it say?
Oh, so Paul's work with Marcella was to follow her around like a private investigator, to help her with research for her novel.
Oh, okay. Dear Paul, I'm sorry to hear that you're in such a dire situation. You seem to possess a lot of useful skills, and it's a shame employees cannot see past your medical history, but don't despair. I have been writing novels for almost 8 years now. My publisher takes most of the sales revenue, but I was still able to collect a substantial sum of money over the years. Now I would like to use that money to hire you. I'm getting tired of romance novels, and I'm thinking of branching out into crime fiction and sort of research. I would like you to follow me around town and take notes of my comings and goings. I'm aware this is a very unusual job, but considering you were able to track me down, I believe you would make a great private detective. In addition to your salary, I would cover all work-related expenses, and you would, of course, be first to read the manuscript once it's finished. Sincerely, M.
Paul really got into his role.
Dear Paul, I hope spying on me isn't proving too exhausting. You really inspired me so far, and I already have tons of ideas. The trench coat you bought were a nice touch. You look straight out of film noir. I also noticed you started smoking. It's probably another way for you to get into character, but maybe that's pushing a little too far. You know best, of course, but don't pick up drinking next. At this rate, you should be able to start writing. I should be start writing in 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks again for your help.
He followed Marcella to Montreal even though she was done with her research.
Paul, why did you follow me to Montreal? I already told you I do not require your services anymore. I'm starting to worry you are taking your role a bit too seriously. You are not a real detective. You have to let go. Okay, well, that I missed. Can we open that? No? Okay.
I have to contact the police. I should be able to call from the front desk.
How do you plan to use the elevator? Just asking.
Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back.
Well, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Or should I place the ice? Well, that will be then my Handprints all over the place. Well, I have this opportunity to, like, place it here, but... I mean, there will be my prints all over the place, right? But like that, I'm carrying the murder weapon. Ah, pfft. I'm not sure. I mean, I already used it. And I also have a screwdriver. Do I have to put it back too? I'm really not sure. Can I even put it back? You know what? I'm just going with it. I mean, that's even more weird. Like, if I took the ice speaker, you know, opened the fuse box and then went back to put it back because, you know, I didn't want to disturb the crime scene. I'm just go for it. I'm just gonna go for it. I'm going for it. Leave.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Phone. I need a phone.
Okay, that was weird right now. Can't interact with this. So the door glitched a bit. That's fine. Can't interact with anything. Where's everybody?
Andrew? Where is everyone?
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now, I just have to wait for the police.
What's the new area that I haven't been in just yet? Where's everybody? Will we find anything interesting?
So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan? Is this the brochure Andrew was talking about? The one that came in the mail for Anne? The West Coast. That's about as far from Montreal as you can get without crossing an ocean. Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role-playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator.
To all reception staff, discard previous instruction. Our prestigious guest has expressed the desire to meet the guest from room 505. I cannot fathom what such an illustrious man wants from such a freak, but if you see him, please direct him towards my office. Thank you. Thank you.
Bernard really wants Paul out of the hotel.
I have heard more reports on the guest from room 505 and his strange behavior, following people around, spying on guests, etc. As you are all aware, we have a very prestigious guest in the room 602, and I would hate for his stay at our distinguished establishment to be tarnished because of some other undesirable guests. Inform the guest in 505 that we must vacate his room as soon as possible. Invent an excuse if you have to. Also note that from now on, our if you can pay, you can stay policy no longer applies. Guests who do not fit the hotel's new elevated standard should be denied a room.
Okay, I can see how this could make Paul look bad. But it's obvious Bernard cares more about the hotel's reputation than the guests' well-being. It's okay, Sophie.
Hey, you're here. I've tried restoring the power, but I think Eugene's the only one with the key to the fuse box, and Sophie? Don't worry, I'll find a way to bring the lights back on. Hey, you look a bit pale. Is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector.
He's back? How's he taking that whole thing with his wife?
You don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Andrew.
Jesus. Maybe you need to sit down, huh? Did you call the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was he sick or something?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Jesus. Do you think it could be Paul?
What about Anne and Marcella? Their affair is a pretty good motive. I also found a letter from one of Hector's customers. He seemed really angry. I guess it could be him as well.
The police will want to ask you a lot of questions. You may want to be careful about what you tell them. With Paul's history of mental illness, there's a good chance they'll suspect him even if he didn't do it.
What are you saying?
What I mean is... that spending some time in a psychiatric hospital doesn't make you a murderous psychopath. But for some reason, that's what everyone seems to think. The police especially.
Yeah. I hadn't thought of that.
You know how I said I studied to become a priest, but never took my orders? That's because I felt so lost. I couldn't enjoy the things I used to like. I could barely get myself out of bed. So I ended up going to a psychiatric hospital. And the doctors, they helped me get back on my feet. But when I returned to my hometown, it was like I had become a complete stranger. My mother kept telling me I was making it worse in my head, but I swear, people were changing sidewalks when they saw me, looking at me as if I was this dangerous creature all of a sudden. That's why I didn't tell you that.
What?
Call it coincidence or fate, but that psychiatric hospital, it's the same one Paul went to. I've met him there, talked to him a bit. I'm sorry I didn't say anything before.
It's okay. I get why you didn't.
You do?
You know how I tell everyone that my mom's sick, bedridden? Well, it's true, but I always leave out the part about her illness not being physical. I'm ashamed of the truth. So even though I don't know exactly what you went through, I can understand.
Thank you for telling me. I know it's not an easy thing to talk about, but if you ever want to talk about your mom, I'm here. They're here. Promise me you'll be careful with the information you share.
Yeah, of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
Well, Mr. Cruz's body was preventing the doors from closing.
Really? When we found the body, it wasn't that close to the doors.
Oh, the stairs are blocked because of the renovations, so the elevator's the only way out of the 5th floor. I had no choice but to move the body. Just a little.
Ah, so that explains the traces we found. Thank you for clearing that up. So, what did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an ice pick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
I might have touched a few things. Just to figure out what had happened to Mr. Cruz.
Of course you did. Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me. Anyway, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
Well, that's basically the same. He received some death threats, and he'll be like, oh, how do you know that? Yeah, because I've been snooping around.
Well, I know about Mr. Cruz's angry customer. The one who sent him death threats.
Oh, yes, we found those. But the customer in question lives back in Texas, so there's no way he could have killed Mr. Cruz.
Actually, I think he may be staying at the hotel.
Have you encountered him?
No. In room 504, there's a guest who seems to be traveling alone. Yet, he has these 3 teddy bears in his room. Mr. Cruz's customer lost his 3 children in a fire, and these bears are slightly burnt. So...
An interesting deduction. I'll look into that. But how do you even know about the death threats?
I've been snooping around. Yeah, why would he tell her? Come on now.
I've been snooping around the guests' rooms.
Of course you have. Listen, I couldn't care less that you're a nosy Nelly. Most women are. But I need you to tell me what you know.
All right.
We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
Well, I mean, if they also checked the other rooms, they would also found... Well, they didn't apparently. They only did check the corridor and... Well, that's a lie. I mean, come on now. I mean, why only these 2 options? I don't know anything about him. It's also bullshit, you know?
He spent some time in a psychiatric hospital after the war. That's when he got into Mrs. Cruz's novels. And they really helped him.
Yes, I already know about his time in a madhouse. We called the place and they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
What does it mean, deny? And take a stand.
You're wrong.
I beg your pardon?
He is like us. We all struggle sometimes, some of us more than others, but there's nothing wrong with that.
You may not have noticed, Miss Roy, but neither of us are in an insane asylum right now.
He was brave enough to seek help. That doesn't make him a criminal. That doesn't mean he killed Mr. Cruz.
You know, I'm starting to worry about your own mental state, Miss Roy, since you're so eager to defend
And I worry about your ability to do your job, Detective, since you seem to be such a...
Enough! One more word, Just one more word, and you'll be spending the rest of your night in a cell. Now get the hell out of here. I've had enough of you.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. I guess I'll know soon enough.
Okay, I think she'll be fired. For snooping around. Maybe. Yeah, he also seems like an ass. Like an ass.
Let's go see what Bernard wants. The atmosphere is so different in here. Will it ever feel like it used to? It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens. Anne, Marcella, and Paul are all suspects for Hector's murder. Was there anything I could have done to protect them?
Tragic death of American tourist Hector Cruz. The 32-year-old insurance agent accompanied by his wife was enjoying a stay in the Clarington Hotel when his wife was tragically cut short on Monday. His life. Did I say his wife? His life. Though the investigation has yet to conclude, Detective Lieutenant Maurice Tremblay revealed to the press that Mr. Cruz's death has been ruled a murder. Multiple suspects have been apprehended and taken in for questioning. One such suspect is Paul Morgan, an unmarried Army veteran who stayed at the Clarington Hotel 2 doors down from Mr. Cruz on Sunday, one day before the murder. Morgan was seen verbally and physically provoking Mr. Cruz in the hotel lobby. Investigations have revealed that Morgan is a former patient of McCord Psychiatric Hospital in New York. According to hospital personnel, Morgan was admitted to displaying erratic, occasionally aggressive behavior. He was released less than a year ago. Mr. Morgan immediately struck me as a strange and unsettling, recalled Bernard. I was the most vocal in my desire to eject him from the hotel as soon as possible, and I took great strides to make this happen. Although no formal changes has been filed as of yet, the incident has led to an increased interest of the movement against the planned construction of the Roy and Light Psychiatric Hospital. In a strange twist of fate, the construction is sanctioned. The hospital is to be located just down the street from the Clarington. The victim's wife, Marcella Cruz, is also considered a person of interest by the police. Mrs. Cruz's absence following the discovery of Mr. Cruz's body was seen as a conspicuous and suspicious. Okay, and adding further evidence suggests that Mrs. Cruz is involved in a homosexual affair. Mrs. Cruz has apprehended by policemen at the Gare Central de Montréal. She was in the company of another of the Clarington's guests, one Anne Bercy. From police suspect is the woman with whom Mrs. Cruz engaged a sexual deviancy. Okay. What? Okay, I kind of like failed everyone, because I think what I was supposed to do is like destroy the evidence, because there was always option to throw away anything. Yeah, I think I was supposed to just destroy their secret letters, whatever. Because this is like... yeah, they call it sexual deviancy. Yeah, so not a good sign, not a good sign.
I'm not going back up there.
Well, you won't probably. You can
I'll
get
go empty my
fired.
locker.
Andrew,
Hey,
are you okay?
I've just been fired.
What? No,
It's okay. I just need some time to process it. I'll be on the mezzanine if you want to join me afterwards.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
I would guess it has something to do with the murder.
Well, you'd be right about that. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, it's quite uncomfortable. To have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act. Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. We'll see for the future, but for now, you'll be allowed to continue working here.
Thank you.
I'm not done. The police have finished their investigation and left a mess on the 5th floor. I want you to clean it up.
You want me to go back there?
Yes, why not?
I found a dead body on that floor. I'm not going back.
I'll make this simple for you. If you don't do it, you're fired.
You can't fire me. Because I quit.
Sure. I fire you, you quit. It's all the same to me. Just make sure to empty your locker before the end of the month. That'll be all.
Hey,
Hey,
what a week.
you don't say. So what did Bernard want with you?
Well, he was being kind of a jerk, so I quit.
You what?
I quit. I figured there was no point in staying if you were leaving.
I'm flattered, but that really wasn't necessary.
I think it's for the best. Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Well, I told him about my time at the psychiatric hospital.
Really?
Yeah. He said that didn't fit with the hotel standards and showed me the door.
So, what's next for you?
I think I'd like to be my own boss. No more Bernard looking over my shoulder. I've had this dream for a while of maybe opening a bookstore.
I can't say I'm surprised.
It just makes so much sense. I'd be able to combine the two things I love most, reading books and helping people. Granted, helping people find books is a far cry from helping them find God, but...
My mom likes to say There's no job too small. Plus, just by the way you're talking about it, it's obvious it'd make you happy. And that's what really matters, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. I'm really glad I have you as a friend.
Me too. What do you think will happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
What do you think?
I don't know. I wish they'd get a happy ending, but I'm not sure it's that kind of story.
I'd like to believe it is. I think Paul becomes a famed photographer. He gets his own studio and decorates it like a hotel bathroom. As for Anne and Marcella, they move in together. But they keep leaving each other notes in the vents. You know, for old time's sake.
I like it. Maybe you should write that.
Maybe I will.
Okay, so this was this bit we made. I really enjoyed it. It's not exactly how I imagined it to be. I thought like the guests will be coming back to their rooms and maybe like, you know, checking if we moved anything, if we touched anything. But it was a really detective game, and I really liked it. Yeah, about like the final moments. Bitter end, I would say. For Andrew, it went well apparently. So all three people were convicted of murder, which again the game didn't tell us exactly what happened. And who really did it? Well, I think there was a fight like by the ice, right? And maybe the Marcella was telling Mr. Cruz that she was leaving him, and the Anne was also there, and they just started fighting and arguing, and maybe the Paul got out of his cover and stabbed him with the ice, maybe, or maybe there was the other guy who lost his family in a fire, maybe. I guess, like, yeah, there's like several endings, obviously, and depends on what you choose to believe. I didn't think it was these three people that were committing the crime. I believe it was this guy that was threatening. But maybe they were actually doing it. Who knows? Maybe Paul actually is crazy and capable of murder. We don't know that. So yeah, what could I have done wrong or different? I could have probably disposed of all letters they were exchanging with each other. Like of Paul snooping around and following Marcella, or his letter of being released from a psychiatric hospital for Anne and Marcella. Like their love letter exchange I would probably have to get rid of. Yeah, so there will be then only one suspect left, pretty much, this guy that was threatening Mr. Cruz. But yeah. Yeah, so I would highly recommend you to play this game. Maybe like if we would also be accomplices with Beth, maybe it would lead to a different ending. I'm not sure. Yeah, pretty cool game. So make sure to play it for yourself and get possibly a different ending. So that's that. Subscribe for more videos. Follow me on Twitter, and you can support me on Ko-fi. Links will be in the description. Thank you for watching, and see ya.